In the beginning of the 1600s, when Skåne was still a part of Denmark, there was an aristocrat by the name of Anders Bille, who was the lord of Rosendal. He was a stern man and hard on his people, and anyone who gave him offense was sure to be tied up and thrown into a cell on the estate. One day, Bille's fiancée came to Rosendal for a visit. When she arrived at the estate, she saw a farmer walking there bound like a tethered horse. When she asked what the poor fellow had done, Lord Anders said that he had been late for work and now endured his well-deserved punishment. She began to plead for the man's release, for her sake, but Bille flatly refused and told her to keep out of his business. She stood up in her wagon and said, "When you deny your fiancé a so modest request, what then would be her fate once she becomes your wife?" She then told her coachman to drive away, and she never came back to Rosendal. People predicted, rightly, that such a hard man would never find rest in his grave. After his burial, Bille would, every night, drive a team of white horses to Rosendal and stop in the courtyard, from where he then stole quietly up into his old bedroom. If his bed was made, then all remained quiet. But if the bed was out of order, he would cause such an awful din that no one in the mansion could sleep. And when the maid went in the morning, she saw the bedclothes on the ground, looking as if a dog had slept on them. When the haunting had gone on for many years, the new owner turned to a pastor, Master Staffan of Hässlunda, and asked him to put a stop to it. Together with another pastor, Master Staffan set off for Kropps church, where Anders Bille was buried. At the stroke of midnight, the grave opened and the deceased stepped out. The other pastor panicked and fled, but Master Staffan remained and began to read out of a book he had brought. While he read, the ghost grew bigger and bigger. But the pastor didn't allow himself to be frightened, but just continued to read. Finally, the ghost interrupted him and said, "Is that none other than you, Staffan Goose Thief?" "It is quite true," said the pastor, "that in my youth I stole a goose, but with that goose I bought a Bible, and with it I now send you to hell, vile spirit." And with that he smacked the ghost in the forehead with the Bible, and it sunk down into the abyss. But because Anders Bille could ascribe to Staffan a sin in his youth, the pastor lacked the power to completely quiet the restless dead. However, he was able to do this much, that Lord Bille now comes to Rosendal but once a year.